Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
Great to be here. We are diving deep today, looking into, well, probably the biggest story in rugby tactics right now, the Springboks.
Yeah.
Specifically, how they played defending the Rugby Championship this year, 2025.
Yeah, and our mission today, really looking at all the analysis coming out, it boils down to this one kind of scary idea. Rassie Erasmus seems to have built this all-court game, and it's got top analysts, guys like James Parsons and Bryn over in New Zealand, basically asking, how do you stop them?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it really signals a shift. It's not just about expecting that traditional Springbok physicality anymore. They've managed to layer these really methodical, very adaptable attacking shapes on top of it. So now you're facing this dual threat. It's designed to make defenses make mistakes.
And we're going to try and unpack that evolution for you today. We'll look at the numbers behind their frankly terrifying consistency, break down how their short-range attack works, why it's being called unstoppable, and then get into the sheer variety in their toolkit. If you want to get smart fast on global rugby tactics, well, this is the place.
Definitely. And speaking of smart moves, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession right now.
Yeah.
You won't want to miss future deep dives like this one.
Okay, so where do we start? Maybe with that foundation. The consistency thing. Rassie seems to have killed off what people used to call the quiet quarter in their game.
That's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Because it's the bedrock, really.
Yeah.
Relentless consistency across the whole match.
It's interesting you say consistency because that's exactly what Parsons pointed out. He said the Springboks were, and this is his word, uniquely consistent in their statistics from minute 1 right through to 80. That wasn't true for the other teams.
Right. And think about what that means. They've basically engineered out those dips, those lulls that you see in almost every other team. A team plays brilliantly for 20 minutes, then maybe eases off, concedes penalties, gives up points.
Yeah, momentum shifts.
Exactly. But South Africa seems to maintain this incredible balance. Their scoring patterns, their defensive efforts, even when they concede points, it's balanced across the full 80. They're built for constant, just unrelenting pressure, not just bursts of brilliance.
It sounds almost, robotic, but maybe that's what makes their attack near the line so effective. Bryn looked really closely at what happens when they get inside the opposition 22. He called it unstoppable at the moment.
Unstoppable is the word, yeah. And it's grounded in, well, physics and execution, not just luck. Parsons pointed out that most of their tries inside the 22 come after 5 or more phases, and they use that classic pick and go.
Okay, but hang on. Pick and go. That's like ancient rugby, isn't it? Every team does it. How are the Bones making something so basic seem unstoppable now in 2025?
But it's the way they do it. It's the detail. Hall broke it down brilliantly. Yes, you need dominance in the collision, obviously. But the crucial bit is having 2 cleaners latching onto the ball carrier instantly.
2 cleaners right away.
Instantly. That guarantees the carrier gets over the gain line, secures the breakdown, and allows them to recycle the ball incredibly fast. The defense just doesn't have time to reset properly, to get numbers in place before the next wave of big carriers is coming at them again from maybe a meter out.
So it's less about one massive hit and more about winning 5 or 6 tiny battles really quickly, one after the other.
Precisely. The efficiency is just remarkable, and it forces a huge question onto the opposition. If the Springboks are almost guaranteed to score once they get settled on your 22 and run through phases, well, the only real answer is you have to stop them getting there in the first place.
Right. Which puts massive pressure on your whole defensive system way further up the field.
Yeah.
Your back 3, your midfield, everyone's under stress.
Exactly. Which actually leads us perfectly into the next big point, this evolved attack. Because if they're so good and tight, how do they avoid being predictable? And that's where this new layer, the stuff often credited to coaches like Tony Brown, comes in, the turnover threat.
The fusion. Brute force meets rapid exploitation.
It's tactical genius, really. Because it keeps defenses guessing constantly. You can't just set yourself for a slow, grinding forward battle anymore. And the numbers back this up. Get this. 52% of the Springboks tries in the Rugby Championship came from turnover ball.
Wait, say that again. Over half their tries were from mistakes or broken play. That stat is genuinely shocking. How are they doing that? What's the mechanism?
Seated transition, pure and simple.
Yeah.
Parsons made a direct comparison, actually. He likened it to that famous click attack Wayne Smith brought into the All Blacks years ago.
Right, where they had maybe 15 seconds to strike.
Exactly. That window before the defense could properly reorganize. Well, the book's transition from D to O is now so fast, so precise, it creates what analysts are calling defensive conflict.
Okay, explain defensive conflict. What does that mean in practice?
It means the defenders have too many things to worry about at once. So, picture yourself defending a Springbok ruck. Do you tighten up, commit players close, go muscle to muscle to stop the pick and go you know they do so well?
Yeah, seems logical.
But the moment you do that, the Boks can see the space you've left out wide, and bang, they can go to the edge and score. They shift immediately from power to space. Think of that crossfield kick to someone like Colby. They force you to commit defenders close, then punish you on the edge you just vacated.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
They've got this huge bag of tools, as Parsons put it, and their playmakers are just reading the defense and picking the right one to expose you. Whatever you try to defend, they have an answer for the other option.
That adaptability is the real killer. It shows just how methodical they've become. Which brings us nicely to that whole idea of their arsenal, the way analysts say they can now pick their poison. Because, it's important to say, they haven't thrown out the old playbook, have they? The World Cup winning tactics are still there.
Are absolutely not. That's foundational. You look at the set piece.
The scrum. Is that still their number one weapon, would you say? Or has the turnover attack maybe overtaken it?
I'd say it remains an absolute dominance. It's maybe their most consistent theme year after year, and it's their ultimate safety net. The analysts specifically mention Oxeo, the loose head, and the stability he brings. It's not just about winning their own ball, it's about demolishing the opposition scrum, weaponizing it.
And that power, like Parsons said, it's a huge mental edge too, isn't it? In a really tight game, knowing you can probably force a penalty from a scrum, that's a great advantage, as he put it. It gets you territory, relieves pressure, maybe gets you 3 points.
It's a huge psychological weapon. But, okay, say the scrum contest is even, or the ref isn't giving penalties. They could just pivot. They have the kicking game. We saw them do it against Australia, didn't we? After that shock loss, they just reverted to a kick-heavy, sort of slow poison game plan and ground out the win. Shows they could change their approach week to week or even mid-game.
And what's clever about their kicking, it isn't just hoofing it long, is it? It's really targeted.
Absolutely. Parsons really stressed this. They look at what the opposition doesn't want. For example, against Argentina, who love disrupting messy, contestable kicks, the Boks apparently just decided, right, we won't give them that picture often.
So what did they do instead?
They use strategic territory kicks, maybe low flat kicks to make handling difficult, or that crossfield kick again. Always thinking, always adapting to take away the opponent's strength. It just screams detailed preparation.
Okay, so this brings all the pieces together, like Bryn laid it out. The multiple ways they can actually score points, it paints the full picture of why they're so hard to plan against, like a five-pronged threat.
Yeah, Hall really synthesized it well. He basically mapped out the 5 main threats you have to deal with simultaneously. You've got 1, their structured running attack, the phase play.
Right.
2, the maul. Still a massive weapon.
Yeah.
3, the scrum, that dominance we talked about, the penalty machine.
Mm-hmm.
4, the kicking game for pressure territory or as a direct attacking option like the cross kick. And 5, that counterattack, the speed off turnover ball we highlighted.
Wow. When you list them like that, attack, maul, scrum, kick, counterattack. That flexibility is incredible. The overall takeaway seems to be, as Hall said, they're very methodical, playing to their strengths, but also exposing or not providing opportunities to the strengths of the opposition. They're winning the physical battle and the tactical chess match, often before kickoff.
They really dictate the terms of engagement. And look, we've just skimmed through 5 pretty complex tactical elements there and the thinking behind them from arguably the world's best team. If you want this kind of analysis regularly, seriously, pause for a second right now and subscribe to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Wherever you listen, we want to make sure you keep getting this level of insight.
So let's try and wrap this deep dive up. The big picture seems to be that Rassie Erasmus hasn't just coached a team, he's engineered this revolutionary pressure system. It starts with that 80-minute consistency. It's backed by really smart decision-making on the field. And they have this huge, varied bag of tools that lets them control the game. They literally get to pick their poison.
Yeah, and they force opponents into making choices, defensive choices that often turn out to be wrong, simply because the Boks have an immediate, high-quality answer ready for whatever the defense shows them. Doesn't matter if it's winning a tiny battle near the try line or exploiting space 50 meters away.
Okay, so now we want to hear from you listening. We've laid out those 5 key weapons Hall identified. The structured run attack, the maul, the scrum, the tactical kicking game, and that lethal counterattack. Which one of those 5 do you think is the absolute hardest for opponents to prepare for during the week? Let us know. Share your comments on this deep dive.
And please do subscribe to Rugby Obsession so you don't miss our next breakdown.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.